guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you about my wedding day experience. So I've gotten a lot of people commenting on my other wedding videos and DMing me saying, can you tell me about your actual wedding day and what the flow was like? So I thought, yes I can. And here is my video. Here is a walk down memory lane of my wedding day slash you'll just see. If this is the first video you're seeing of wedding content, you want to see more, I have lots of other wedding videos on DIYs and stuff like that. But I also have additional wedding videos that are coming soon. The next one I'm going to film right after this is on my wedding budget and the breakdown of that. And then following that, in the next couple of weeks, I do have some more wedding DIY decor videos that I've planned for, which I'm super excited for. But I wanted to ask you a question, and that is, do you want to see more wedding DIY videos that are the same style as my existing ones, which are really my true style of rustic, chic kind of decor? Or do you want to see some other stuff like royal wedding, vintage wedding, stuff like that? That was my question to you guys, because I can definitely do either. Cool. Okay, so let's get started. My wedding day. So to start off, I just wanted to talk about setting up for my wedding day. So I had a huge DIY wedding, and a lot of people asked around setup for the wedding, and I did that 2 days before and the day before, and in total I have no idea, I'll calculate it and put it on the screen, that many hours of setup. It took a lot more time than anticipated, and I had throughout that experience my mom, sister, my husband, and 2 friends for one of those days. After we did the setup, I went to sleep. I was in a boutique hotel room. My friends were in, and my siblings were in another hotel that was about 10 minutes walking away. I woke up at like 5:30. I ordered breakfast for myself. And the thing is, I did my own hair and my own makeup for my wedding because I didn't trust service providers to do what I wanted. I really didn't want other people around me while I was doing it because I thought it would stress me out even more. So I was by myself from about 6 in the morning until 1 to 2 p.m. doing my own hair and makeup and getting ready fully. My mom came over at some point. She brought Nando's chicken for me, which I really appreciated, and I had some of that and I had some fries. Or garlic mashed potato, that's what I had, garlic mashed potato and some chicken. And then after that, my friends came over, my sisters came over, and we had sparkling apple juice. Now, sparkling apple juice is like a tradition in my household for what we use to celebrate events, and it's obviously non-alcoholic, so that was really sweet. Meanwhile, at my venue, the weather forecast for that day was supposed to be rain. In that specific area, the owners of the farm that I got married at said the weather's really sporadic, so what you should do is just like wait 2 hours before your wedding to have the ceremony site set up, because there's a high chance that even though the forecast says rain, it's not actually going to rain. I did have someone who was coordinating the event on the day of, and so that was really, really good. I had one sister go over there, and then the groomsmen were gonna be there early as well. So the limo comes, picks up the groomsmen, my sister's over there, my day of coordinator is over there, and basically it's a scramble to set everything up in that short period of time that they have. So they're like scrambling, trying to set up all these vases, trying to set up the candles, like everything's coming together. The groomsmen and my husband get there. They're like trying to scramble and help. They're like trying to put up all the sides of all the tents, like scrambling, sweating, running around. Now, another thing about me is I am always late. I always run behind schedule. So initially the plan was for all my friends and my siblings and my mom to come over around like 1, I think, or maybe 1:30. I think they ended up coming at maybe like 2:30, and our ceremony started at 4. And so when they came over, I was, you know, like just taking my time, Now at like 3:15, everyone's there, we're having our sparkling apple juice, and then I get a message from my cousin who's actually our officiant, and she said, I'm so sorry, like we're gonna be late, like just FYI. And I was like, oh, okay. So in my mind, I was like, oh, so I can be late then, that's fine, it'll be fine. So probably at like, I'd say 3:40, which already puts us at being 20 minutes late. We're getting into the limo. Couldn't figure out how to turn on the AC in the limo. Like we were struggling so hard. So I was like sweating in the limo. A few minutes later, I get a call from my husband. He's like, where are you? Like, are you coming? Like, I'm stressing out. What's happening? It's really, really hot. Like we had to hand out water bottles. And I'm like, why would you call me? Like, why are you calling me? Why wouldn't you call my mom or my sister? Like, why are you stressing me out during this time? My husband also tells me that my dad is going to be walking me down the aisle. So just to explain for that so you can understand my mentality. My parents are a different culture than like North American culture. And so I thought I was gonna be walking myself, and I was totally fine with that. I thought, you know what? I'm gonna walk by myself, it's gonna be good. Then my husband says, actually no, like your dad said, like he's going to walk you down the aisle. So I'm like, okay, what a funny miscommunication to have. But either way, we arrived there. I have not very good eyesight, and I see like some of the groomsmen walking towards me, and I think one of them is my husband, but actually it's my husband's brother. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, get away. But then I realized it's my husband's brother, so all is well. And then we have the ceremony. So, for the ceremony, I walk down the aisle, and all I can think is like, oh, there's my friend. Oh, there's my friend. Oh, there's my best friend from school. Oh, there's that. And I'm like, hey, like I get so distracted. I never would have thought that that would happen. I think it's because I was nervous that I was like looking to people. And then I look up at my husband, and he's like definitely like getting a little teary-eyed, but he's not crying or anything, which is totally fine. I also felt very on display, like again, as an introvert and someone that like doesn't like a lot of attention placed on me in public settings. I felt like very spotlights everything on me. And the worst thing is that when that happens to me, I definitely start like sweating on my face. Like my upper lip will sweat like immediately when I get stressed out when I'm in social situations, which is unfortunate. But I walked down the aisle, and then we didn't do a rehearsal. So Parth and I are standing so far away from each other. My husband and I were standing so far away from each other. We're not holding hands or anything. I'll show a photo of that on the screen right now, which I thought in hindsight, I was like, this looks so stupid. Like, how do we not think to be like closer together? I think in the moment I did notice that we weren't that close together, but I couldn't move because my dress was already properly laid out, and he wasn't like moving towards me, and I didn't want to like interrupt the ceremony. And then after that, we went straight into taking photos with all the family. So we had like a big list of every single person we needed to capture. So like me and my mom and my dad, every single combination was written down, and like someone was accounting for it. So we took all of those photos, and then we went off to another part of the farm with all of the bridal party, and we took photos, just the girls and just the guys, and then all of us together. Then we went, just Parth and I went down to a wooded area to take different types of photos together. We wanted to use smoke bombs, which honestly wasted a lot of time. Like the photos turned out nice, and I'll insert a photo now. But they wasted a lot of time because we had to go like really deep into the forest to be able to like find the right type of terrain to get those photos. We started running behind schedule. Obviously we started probably 30 minutes late. Sorry for my tardiness, story of my life. And then from there, I think the photos ended up taking a lot longer than expected. And then I think dinner was supposed to start at 6, and we were nowhere to be found at like 6:45, which is really, I know, like that's not nice. That's probably not how you should be on your wedding because people get hungry. Although we did have hors d'oeuvres. So while we were off taking photos, we had like lots of hors d'oeuvres. My husband's parents catered a bunch of like really delicious Indian hors d'oeuvres, and we had some like smaller, easier bites to eat. Oh, and also we had games, like massive garden games, that some of them I think we bought, some of them we rented, some of them the actual venue had. And so people were like playing those. We had the DJ going at the same time. So people were just like hanging out, eating some food, going around the farm. It's pretty there, just relaxing. And then finally we got back. Everyone entered, and then we had our meal. During the meal, we had speeches. We didn't have that many people give speeches. I think I had one of my friends and then my sisters give a speech. So maybe that's just 2 speeches. And then he had his brother and one of his friends give a speech. So 4 speeches in total. And they were really, really sweet. I love the speeches. You know what's funny? When I go to other people's weddings, especially if I'm not like that close to them, I don't really love the speeches, but as the actual like bride and groom, they're actually really sweet. Because sometimes when you're hearing those speeches, those are like the first times you've ever heard those types of words communicated to you by your friend or by your sibling or whatever. And then we went outside. We played the shoe game, which I have a video on my channel of us playing the shoe game, but just like on our bed. But that's basically the game that we played outside, which was really fun. People loved that. And then while that was happening, the people who worked at the venue were like clearing out space, clearing the tables and stuff inside the main reception hall. Then we went back in, we had our first dance. We cut the cake. We cut only the top layer. It was like a 2-tiered. And I ordered a vanilla cake, and for some reason the top tier was chocolate. So that was the only thing that I had. I had like one bite of like the chocolate cake. Also, I like way underate throughout that whole day. I felt like I was like dying by the end of it because I was so hungry, and like I was hungry, but I didn't feel like eating, if that makes sense. And then everyone danced, and we had a really, really lovely DJ. He mixed in top pop songs with some Indian songs, which is nice because we had like a mixed group that was there and everyone loved it. Then we did like a sparkler send-off, which was pretty cute. And then shortly after that, everything ended. It was like 10 p.m. and we planned to leave at around 10 p.m. There was no alcohol at the wedding, so it wasn't necessarily like a big party per se as it is in some weddings. So it was pretty chill. And then we left and we went back to our hotel. My sister had paid for like a nice honeymoon package at the hotel, so that actually included, like, they decorated around with rose petals and like these like fake candle, like LED candles, and another bottle of sparkling apple juice. And it was actually so sweet. When we walked in, I was like, did you do this? Did they just do this? What just happened? But it was my sister, and I love her for that. She's so sweet. And then to end the night, I literally was so tired and so exhausted, I took a bath. And that was our wedding day. The next day, we did do teardown of the venue. It was really great that they let us have till the next day. My husband's family was there helping us, which was so great. And then everything else, we ended up tearing down, just Parth and I in the end. And probably by 4, we were done. And then we went back in Toronto after that, and all was well, and I'm sure we just chilled. I can't remember, so that was now Sunday. I think we went back to work on Monday, I think. And then we went on our honeymoon, I think 2 weeks after that. So that was like our wedding situation. But yeah. So now I just wanted to talk about a few things that in hindsight I would have done differently about our wedding. And there's really only one thing. And it is that I wish that my husband and I did a first look and then did like custom vows to each other at our first look. Because we didn't do a first look, and I feel like a lot of people find the whole ceremony setup really romantic, and I thought I would be that same way. But because I'm introverted, like I said, I was really aware of the fact that there were a lot of people around us. So we did end up renewing our vows because we didn't get to say our custom vows to each other. And so we renewed our vows in Bali, which obviously you know that if you watch my other videos, but we wouldn't have had to renew our vows if we had done a first look with like custom vows or like letters to each other at that time. So in hindsight, that is the one thing I would have done differently. And then we also could have gotten some really cute photos at first look, and some photos just in general before the ceremony, when you really truly look your best, as opposed to being like really hot from being in the limo and then outside in 35-degree weather, etc. So that's the one thing. There's like a couple other details of like how I would work with the florist differently or stuff like that. But in terms of the actual flow of the day, that's the main thing that I would change. Yeah. So let me know down below if you have any other questions about my wedding day or my opinion on things, and I can help you out. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, or you can also check me out on Instagram. I'm at DIY Dalia with an underscore at the end. Thank you for watching and joining me on this journey. Until next time, bye.